Hi, I'm Brittany Ganoza of Ganoza Costuming, and today I'm going to be showing you how to paint some awesome weathered and battle-scarred armor with your Extreme Flex Metallic Armor Technique Kit. These techniques can be applied to any armor. I'll be using a piece I've already built, and I'll start by adding some scarring and weathering. So when you're done creating your initial armor piece, you can go ahead and move on to texturizing. You can use all these different types of tools seen here. One of the easiest ways is to use a box cutter to slash lines in it to create some crazy battle damage. But you can also use things like a soldering iron and a Dremel to really texturize. So we'll start with this one. One of the things you can do is use your box cutter or X-Acto knife, and then use a heat tool. To do lines like this, or go more in depth by using the soldering iron to really get in there. Be careful with the fumes. Might want to open a window. Definitely be careful with this. This will burn you, so be very safe. So that really gets in there. A little bit better than the box cutter, but not absolutely necessary. Another thing I like to do is really rough up these edges and create divots in the armor, kind of just wherever you want. You don't need to do it very calculated. You can do things like slashes or divots like this and ding up all of these edges. You can start or stop wherever you like, but for me, I like doing a little bit extra in the battle damage department. Also, if you have seams like this that you're not very proud of, you can cover them up with with some more battle damage. There you go. Nice and damaged and ready for paint. Also, when you're done with this, if you haven't already, you're gonna want to heat seal with a heat gun or an embossing tool. Next step you want to do after you've heat sealed your armor is you want to base it out in black. The next thing you want to do is grab your silver paint and just put it on the entire surface. This may take about 2 coats. Now that we got the first coat on, go in for coat number 2. It may need 1 more, but it's pretty likely that 2 will be just fine. It just needs to cover fairly well because we're going to go over it with a lot more shading. I mean, as you can see already, it's getting pretty well covered just with 2 coats. So once you've got your base coats down, you can move on to your shading portion. So what I like to do is take mostly silver and add the tiniest bit of black to it. So you're making kind of a gunmetal color, yeah, maybe a little darker. Yeah, so you're making like a dark silver color. And what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna get it in all of the crevices. So we're gonna put it in these like spots like that. We're gonna put it in these spots here. We're not as worried at this point about how well we're putting it on because we're gonna take a clean brush and kind of blend it out into the silver. You kind of just keep doing that. Get it in the crevice, get a clean brush, blend it out into the silver. Something else that you can do is take that same mixture and just dab it on different areas. This helps create depth, and then you want to just use your finger to kind of blend it in. This just creates more depth and texture and really helps with those open spots as well that don't have as much going on. Just kind of do it randomly and get it in there. Use your finger to kind of blend it out. You can also use a brush for that part. Another place you're going to want to add shadow is around these rivets. And again, you're going to want to blend it out a little bit. You don't want it to be so obvious. And it can be kind of random. You can use your finger. You just want to make sure that there's some type of shadow there. And get it in all of your little divots that you've made. And if you put in just too much shadow somewhere, you can always just go right back over it with some more silver to fix it up. Something else that you can do is apply a shadow to the undersides of the spikes because it's going to sit up like this, and that's where a shadow would naturally be. So take your mixture that you already have and apply it on the underside. Though the paint's already naturally shiny, this just reinforces that depth in those spikes. It's also a really good idea to shade around the edges and the bottoms of these. So you don't want to have a really harsh line here where the dark meets the light of the silver. You're going to want to blend that with a dry brush. All you have to do is run right over top of it. That side's not bad. With your brush, and it blends it together. And like I said before, if you're not happy with something, you can always go right back over it with silver and try again. Next, to add just one more layer of depth, we're going to go in again in all of these places with a darker version of what we already made. So we're going to take silver, a tiny, tiny bit of silver this time with mostly black. And we're gonna reinforce all of these dark areas and make them even darker. This really helps with just the general depth. If you don't do this step, you kind of lose a bit of it. So you're almost black here, but with a little bit of silver added. And this really makes everything pop. Kind of doing the same thing, but you're not going to push it out as far, like blend it out as far. Something else that you should probably do is paint the undersides and the edges of the armor. All around the edges. You don't want to keep those super silver because it just kind of sticks out so much. And since it's kind of a recessed area, you want it to just be darker. It really pushes the rest of it forward. So we'll go in the same with the black mixed with a tiny bit of silver, creating almost like a metallic black, and just go around all of these edges. All these edges here. Not quite all the way black, but something else you'll want to do is apply this darker mixture right where the two pieces of armor overlap. Wherever there's any type of overlap, you want to create a shadow by just putting a little bit of that dark color right in between the two layers. And that helps, again, create more depth and recesses it. Also in these crevices here along the edges. And if you want, you can go in with a smaller brush to make that a little easier. You can really do as much weathering as you feel is necessary, shading and shadowing. I like to go really all out with it and give it a really weathered look, but it's really up to you. So now we're going to add even more depth because that's what we need. And we're going to take our silver and add the tiniest bit of black, like barely any. And you just, for the trim part, you just run it down the centers of it. It's okay, you don't have to be completely perfect with it because we're gonna go back over top a little bit with some highlight if we messed any of this up. You need to use your fingers, it's totally okay. You don't even need to do the entire thing. This is just a little bit of extra. So I've already done it to this side. Just running it down the centers of these trim. Just really lightly. At this point, we're going to go in with a little bit of brown so we can, you know, give it a little bit more dirty look. We can just go in with the dark brown and just kind of, we're not going to use a lot here. We're just going to use it as kind of a detail, something like that. You kind of just Get it on there in some spots, be kind of random about it. You don't want it to be very calculated. Put it around some of your details, put it in some of your crevices. Something I like to do is kind of almost make it look like it's dripping off of some of the effects. So kind of do that. Come in with another dry brush and kind of blend it out a little bit. So it looks like it's almost like it's rusty and dirty and it's just coming right off of that. You can just apply that throughout. Use your finger to dab it along. It's already really coming together. Like I said, just be really random about it. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so now, last but not least, we're gonna go back in and do a couple of highlights. Gonna do slightly smaller, not too fine, but smaller brush. And we'll just go straight into the silver. And we're gonna apply this along a lot of these edges and any places you feel that maybe got a little bit too dark during the shadow process. The reason that we put the shadow in the centers of these pieces here is so that we can really pop out the silver along the edges. Like we're just kind of going back to retouch up all of that. It just really makes highlights pop by doing this. You really notice a difference in the spots that you accidentally got a little bit too much of the dark. Also apply this highlight to one edge of these scores and battle damage. Another thing that you can do is put a little bit of that silver on your paintbrush and apply it to the tops of these rivets. You do them one at a time or do them all at the same time. So what I do is I just push my finger and dab it on the top there. And it kind of creates a highlight right on top. You can blend it out with your finger or use a paintbrush. I personally like doing it with my finger. Now that you're done with all the brown and the highlights, if you're feeling good with how worn you've made it, then I think you're done. Put it on your next costume and you're ready to go.